camera for the conversation, or you can look at other people too. But
Oh,
you don't need to bother to look at the camera. That's not important. Okay.
Unless I.
How zoomed in right
All right, so we're ready for your prepared remarks. So as I said, the purpose of this is to try and get find that. The purpose of this is to try and get a little oral history on the family. So,
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just.
So tell us about what was your family like when you were growing up.
Chaos. There were 5 of us, and so whenever we went anywhere, all I remember is the bedlam of trying to figure out who was going to sit where in the car. What you wanted to avoid was having to be the one up in the back windshield, which is typically where I ended up. And I don't know. It's all I knew. So
Shit rolls downhill, and you were the youngest. So what sort of shit rolled onto you?
I don't know. This is harder than I thought it would be. Yeah, I think that I don't think that necessarily shit rolled down to me as much as I don't know. Let's start with a different topic.
All right, so
like trying to remember, like that's like a hard spot to start.
All right, so start with your family history. So your dad was born in Charlevoix, Michigan.
Yeah. So my father, Joseph Bellinger, was born in Charlevoix. He had one brother, Don, who was a couple years younger, and his mother's name was Alice McNeil, and his biological father was Theodore Teddy Benyu. I'm not sure how to spell that anymore. We have one document, so I think Charlie has it with his correct spelling of his name. Somewhere around the 34 or 5, my grandma left him. They separated, which was pretty unusual in that day and age, and moved her and the 2 boys to Shepherd Farm, which was her side of the family, the McNeil side. Charlie is actually identified where that farm was. That's something that my dad didn't talk about a lot, that separation period, except that working on the farm was something that he found peaceful. So he would talk about the farmhands, who I would assume were relatives. I doubt if they could afford to hire people to work on the farm. But one story that for some random reason I remember well that he told was there was some big old bearskin that went over a Model A or a Model T car, and one of the farmhands put it over himself and came after Dad, and Dad thought it was a bear and scared the crap out of him. I don't know, for some reason that just like sticks in my head, but it wasn't something that he talked about a whole lot, and I think probably it was probably a difficult time for a little boy to go through that. And then I like to think of how my grandfather that I knew, Charlie Bellinger, sort of picks up the story, which is that he saw Alice somewhere, and this is in the Great Depression. He's a jeweler, so I'm sure business was tight, and he asked her out twice to dances, asked her to go to dances, and she said no. And then, like the third or the fourth time, she said yes, and they went out, and he just didn't give up. And at some point they got married, and he adopted 2 boys, right smack dab in the middle of the Depression, which, to me that's astonishing that he did that. But as you watch those 2 get older, I don't know that I've ever seen another man, a man that loves someone as much as he loved Alice, and it was pretty cool to see, to watch. And as they got older and older, it just became more intense for him. I think as he saw his own health sort of failing, but just the way he talked to her, it was genuine and strong. He loved her a lot. His relationship with my dad wasn't great. I don't fully understand the